Okay, Chyde, so why Dubai? Of all places.
Yeah.
Of all places.
Yeah, why would you want to be in
Do you have a
this?
rich oil sheik as an uncle, or what's going on there?
Yeah, why would you want to be in the city of dreams and the greatest place to be?
Yeah,
You know, where all the people are here to do business and create a better life for themselves. Why would you want to be here? I mean, it all started with, my business, right?
yes.
And moving my mindset from just music to, okay, now that music is doing better, I have to make sure that the things around it is doing better as well. Otherwise, things can happen very fast, and I don't want to get drowned in that. So I have to be smart about it, right? So I made sure that, okay, what do I do now?
Okay.
How do I navigate these things now? And I reached out to certain people that are like within my reach, and I just threw it out there and saw what I could do, right? And it's also about, like, many people when they think of these things, they always think about, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, I don't know this, I don't know that. But what do you know? And what resources do you have? It's always about picking what you do have, right? For instance, one of my like closest friends now that helped me with a lot of these things wasn't within my reach in that matter,
No.
right?
Okay.
But I knew someone that was close to him. So when they were working on a project together, my name was brought up thanks to me knowing this person first, which then led him to notice me. And now we're in a connection.
I understand, but let me ask you,
Yeah.
how do you know who's the right people to network with?
You have to look at, like I said, what resources you do have. There's somebody in your circle, somebody that you have within reach that you can reach out to. And who knows what kind of doors they can open up for you, what kind of keys they have to different locks,
Okay.
So sometimes you don't, it's not about knowing, maybe it's about seeing what you can do first and foremost. You know what I mean? So reaching out to somebody that you do know are affiliated with, that have more resources than you have, more information.
Understand. Well, let me ask you a question. Were these people international or they're local? For example, were they Swedish or not? Because a lot of
Both.
people.
Both.
Okay, so you combine
Yeah,
that.
yeah,
Okay.
you have to combine it because now we live in 2024, right? It's a whole new era, right? Everything
that
is online. You
digital.
can, yes, you can connect with anybody in a matter of seconds, right? So the person that's thinking, oh, I'm not gonna go anywhere because I'm living here or I'm around these people, that's a weak mindset. You got to get out of that because you just one message away from changing your entire life. I'm not saying one message is going to change your life in one day, but it's the start of something. And people are always like, they want to go to step 10, but they don't want to take the second step. It doesn't make sense. If you ever want to see the possibility of a step 10, you have to take the second step. And sometimes that's humiliating to some people. You have to swallow your
You
pride.
have to
a little
humble
bit.
yourself.
Yep. Yes, exactly. But that's where you humble yourself in a good way. Not when people tell you, "Oh, you need to be humble." No, you humble yourself to go, "Okay, I know I'm here right now. What do I do to get to step 2 at least?" And then when you're there, it's like, "Fine. Okay, now I have a possibility to go to step 3." Which then will, in due time lead to step 10 in a natural way. And also in a way where you earn that. If you ask me, really, honestly, would I ever have wanted someone to come and pick up my talent when I was 12 and give everything to me? I don't know. I don't think so. Would I ever value what I have right now if that happened? No, I don't think so. Would I ever feel like I earned it? I don't think so. So it's also about earning it, right? And if you're afraid or if you're too weak to go out there and earn it for yourself, then maybe this is not for you.
The only way to great knowledge is through great suffering.
Yes, exactly. And the only ones that have reached greatness have reached it through suffering. So it's not about like running away from it, it's about embracing it. And stop seeing your flaws or your insecurities or whatever it is holding you back as something that's gonna drag you down, but rather it can enhance your possibilities of going somewhere.
Okay.
I spoke about this earlier today actually with a fan on my live stream where he was talking about how he wanted to rap differently.
Okay.
He was surrounded by gangster rap, but he wanted to bring his lyrics more into what I'm doing, storytelling, conscious rap, and being, very expressive of your own life, basically, instead of, you know, crime and all of these things.
So what did you tell him?
I told him that you have to be honest with yourself, right? And write from your heart, not what you think is gonna look cool or sound cool, but also to embrace your uniqueness. Because he was mentioning the fact that he was from a country and this and that, and he spoke about it in a way like it was holding him back. But I was like, that's great. Now use that as your leverage, because the things that you think make you weak are the things that can make you strong. You know, why do we run away from our originality? Why do we run away from our uniqueness when that's the only thing that's going to separate us?
Very true, very true.
See what I mean? So I think also, brother, coming back to this, when I started realizing that, man, instead of being ashamed of who I am and where I come from and that it didn't happen a certain way for me, why don't I just embrace that shit? Like, yeah, fuck, you know, I came from this family, right? And I struggled with these thoughts. And yeah, here I am, a grown-ass man, and I'm still, you know, feeling anxiety and all of these
Suffering.
things. Suffering. Still, I'm suffering from feeling pain, right? But I'm still doing what I need to do. And
Powerful.
And I think that's something to embrace. I have a tattoo on my shoulder that says "Embrace the pain."
Embrace the pain. Speaking of suffering, though.
Yeah.
Are you still suffering?
Yes, every day, of course, more and more. And the more I try to run away from it, the more I suffer. So, you know, and I believe also, like, with, this is the thing about people, right? They wish more for themselves, but when they ask for more, they can't handle what's coming. It's like you ask for change, but then challenge comes and you can't handle it. You want more strength, but when something is fighting you and pushing you to become stronger, you lay down flat. You see what I mean? So it's you ask what you ask. If you ask for more, then you have to be able to take more, right? You want to enjoy more in life, you have to suffer more in life. You want to become greater, you have to endure the pain, in a way.
I understand what you mean. I understand.
See what I mean?
But you also mentioned you have to wish more for yourself than you wish for others.
Yeah.
You agree with that statement? Because I know you.
Yeah.
You're a very loyal person, right?
Yeah.
But loyalty can be a treacherous road.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I know more than anyone that you've suffered with that.
Yeah. At some point, being more loyal to other people than yourself is just going to destroy you. And the people don't care. The people you're loyal to don't give a shit. So when you're down, they don't care.
Okay.
You see what I mean? So
Yes.
it's very important to be loyal to yourself first and foremost, because then and only then will you be able to be loyal to others that truly deserve it.
All right, brother. But Dubai,
Yeah.
how have people here been treating you then?
Great. It's funny, right? Because I didn't have much of a impression before I moved here.
Okay.
The only thing I saw was like fast cars, and
Yeah.
they were talking about, oh, you know, it's a Muslim country, so you have to be, you know, cautious and all of these things. But it's funny because since I got here, people have been treating me with respect. The service has been outstanding, and people are very just generally kind, you know. A lot of the
So you don't feel any prejudice though, having all those tattoos.
That's the thing. You would think that,
yeah.
right? But honestly, no. Honestly, no. The only thing that I get is compliments from it. You know, people like, oh, you know, those look great. You know, I love your tattoos, and that's it. I even had more, you know, weird comments in Sweden, living there, and that's supposed to be the country where everybody accepts everybody.
Yes.
Like, nah.
Well, at least on the news, if you watch the news.
Yeah, exactly. And if you believe everything you read and hear
Yeah.
instead of experiencing it yourself, it's weird because the people that haven't even been here are the ones that have most opinions about it, which doesn't even reflect on like reality.
I get it.
That's my impression of Dubai.
And I know you love your own country. It's not that.
Yeah,
But
I love.
like,
I mean, I came from Stockholm. I come from Sweden.
yeah, I know you rep that heavily in your songs.
Yeah, of course, of course. It's part of my history, who I am.
What's next in the next 3 months?
The next 3 months are gonna be very intense when it comes to the music.
Okay.
First and foremost, because I'm dropping songs continuously, and it's gonna be very hectic when it comes to that. But also because I've introduced, you know, bringing in a new, I wouldn't say genre, but I would say a new type of
Sound.
music and sound.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I'm gonna drop more Swedish songs now from now on.
Why though? Why go back to your Swedish roots?
It's funny, eh? Well, it's because, you know, funnily enough, I have more fans all over the world than I have from my own hometown,
Mm.
right? So I was like, why not bring that, you know, Swedish rap that I already have within me,
Yeah.
and gather in all the fans from Sweden as well.
What's interesting, I've seen a lot of your international fans as well.
Yeah.
They really embrace the Swedish songs though, even
Mm.
though some of them don't. I see that.
They don't even understand it. They're like,
I
bro,
see
it
that
sounds
more and
great.
more in music. A lot of people
Yeah.
can even though if they don't understand anything,
Yeah.
they can feel the energy, which
Yeah,
is
it's the energy,
which is
definitely.
dope.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah, and those that do understand the language are gonna be like, "Oh shit, I didn't know Chyde was this.
No.
Was doing this." So I feel like, and also it's a spark of creativity for me, and I follow that. It's not just about like, oh, this is a game plan for me to bring in more fans, but it's also because I feel like it's a natural spark of creativity that's open for me. So there's gonna be a lot of songs dropping. I would say every 2 weeks a new song dropping. Collaborations, but also my own songs. And yeah, I think it's gonna be a crazy couple of months, 3 months ahead. When it comes to music.
I can't wait, brother. I can't wait.
And me too.
I hope we can see you on some festival tours
Yeah,
and some
yeah, for
shows
sure.
in the future. I know a lot of people are asking for international shows like Canada.
Yeah, people are asking for tours everywhere,
Yeah.
brother. But everything has its own time and place. And I'm just taking everything as it is right now because I'm building the catalog right now. There's a lot of things that's going on, within the business of music right now, and the collaborations I'm doing. I'm in the studio a lot, and I'm collaborating with different genres right now.
Yeah, so it's not that you don't want to go.
No. It's just about like making sure we do everything in the right order.
Time frame. I get it.
Yeah, but it's definitely in the plans, and I do have the people around me that will make that happen.
Can you reveal any names though, or is that gonna be the secret?
That's gonna be the secret until everything happens. But when it happens, it will happen.
Love it. Okay. Congratulations, brother.
Thank you so much. Appreciate that.
All right, brother.
All right, everybody. I'm sitting here with my brother and my close friend, Weirdo Free. And we've known each other for 7 years now, not even more.
It's been that long, huh?
Yeah, it's been that long, man. And you could say that we're both very, close friends, but also work together and help each other in life to, to get better, in everything that we do, and also to get better in life.
Reach new levels.
New levels, yeah, exactly. And it all started with music, right? Because when he approached me 7 years ago, it was because of a song and a collaboration that he wanted to represent another artist for. And that's how we crossed paths. And that's how I also knew that he was a former music producer, also very heavily connected with, some serious people in the music industry, and gave me a lot of advice and guidance and support that I haven't gotten from anybody in the music industry or in life. So that's my brother, and now we're sitting here in Dubai having a great time. People are shouting outside, and it doesn't even matter. It's in the middle of the night.
Well, they're Chyde fans. They know you're here.
We got Burj Khalifa in the background.
Yeah.
And we're sipping on whatever we're sipping on.
Yeah, we're not going to tell you. We're not going to tell you what we're
having a great
on.
time. Yes. We're sitting in a suite in Dubai, and yeah.
It's been a long road. It's been a long road.
Very long road. And that's the thing too, everybody. The people that you start with are the people you finish with. There's going to be a lot of people that come and go, right? A lot of people come and go, especially when things are moving well for you. Because everybody wants to be a part of that momentum. Everybody wants a piece of the cake, right? So you got to be careful who you let into your circle. The only people you can truly trust are those who were there from the beginning. And also, those are the only ones you are supposed to be truly loyal to, because they were there for you when you didn't have what you have now, when you didn't have that momentum.
Very true.
That's who you're loyal to. That's who you support. That's who you make sure you bring along. And that's staying true to your morals and being a loyal person, right? And also sticking to what you say and claiming who you are. And all of these things might, to some of you guys, not even matter, right? But you stand on your principles, meaning if you go against what you say and who you are, then who are you? You're nobody.
No.
And that's the difference. There's a lot of nobodies walking around. If you want to be one of those, good luck in life. But I'm not one of those. And that's why I'm sitting here, and that's why I'm here with my brother, and that's why we're connected still. And this is only like the one and only person that I can count like on one hand. I have a few others, but this is like the only person that I feel has been with me from the start, and that's why he would be with me to the finish line. And yeah, you need more of those people in your life, and if you have them, embrace them and take care of them. That's my
Thank you,
final
my brother.
thoughts.
I really
Okay.
appreciate you saying that.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes,
It
of
means a
course.
lot.
It's the truth.
Yeah,
Let the truth
but
be heard.
loyalty isn't easy though. That's the thing I think a lot of people don't understand. Loyalty isn't easy. Loyalty isn't just picking up the phone when it's convenient.
No.
Loyalty isn't just being there when it's easy.
Easy.
For example, it's very easy for you now to invite me to a suite in Dubai, right? Not a lot of people are gonna say no to that.
But it wasn't easy for me when I was, when I didn't have time, when I didn't have money, I didn't have energy, but I was still there for you. And I
Yes, my brother.
did my best to be there for you and help you through whatever you were going through. And I never said no, and I never hesitated, and
Never.
I never backed down.
Never.
And that's who you are, right? And the same thing with you, for me, when you were tired, when you didn't have money, you fixed money for me. If you didn't have time, you made time for me. If you didn't have energy, you put the energy that you had and gave it to me. And
But a lot of people talk.
that's loyalty.
Yes, it is. And a lot of people talk about family, right?
Yeah.
Your own flesh and blood. But
Yeah, but what is family though? Like in my opinion, family is who takes care of you and who are loyal to you and genuinely want the best for you. They are the ones that are gonna make sure you are good. Those are the ones that are gonna lift you up when you're down, right? And a lot of people are loyal to their family who don't give a shit about them, right? They're loyal to their family because of blood, right? Because they're blood related. They're loyal to traditions and morals that they don't even represent.
they don't even believe it themselves.
They don't even believe it themselves, exactly. But they're loyal to them.
Yes.
But then if they find it like it's a hard time being loyal to somebody that's really a family to them, which makes no sense, right? So I believe family is also like a definition. I have my family that I was born into, and I love them with all my heart. But does that mean that I view that as a representation of what a family is to me? No. It might be a family to them or whatever, but it's also about what I think is a family and what you think is a family. Right?
I firmly believe that you pick your own family.
Right, exactly.
Okay.
Yeah.
I do understand for some, blood is thicker than water, but everyone that I've seen that embraces that mentality is suffering for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes. 100%.
So I 100% that.
And they're also sorry to interrupt,
No,
brother,
of course, my
but
brother.
they're also missing out on what a true family feels like.
Yes. They can't even tell you.
No,
They can't even tell you.
and
Brother.
they can't relate because they don't
Can't even tell you.
understand, and I think that's a shame.
It's definitely a shame. But to each his own. It's everyone's responsibility for their own happiness.
Yeah.
Speaking of happiness, though, brother, this is a problem that I encounter a lot. And I know you have had this issue pop up in your life as well. That certain people don't want you to become greater than them. How do you deal with that, though, from your perspective?
Well, first and foremost, I have this expression that I go by, that time will reveal everything. Right?
Okay.
So I truly believe that regardless of what you think or what you do,
Yes.
I know that in due time things will just show itself, right?
Well, I agree with you that they will reveal themselves. But
Yes, they will reveal themselves, and not only that, brother, but it's also about. I want to be around people that want to be greater than themselves, not just greater than anybody else. Especially, like, I don't have an issue. Let's say you want to be greater than any. When you're a music producer, you want it to be greater than any other music producer. I respect that. But if I'm also a music producer and you're fighting me and we're friends and we're like team players and we help each other,
Why are we in a competition
if we're on the same team?
if we're on the same team? It doesn't make sense, right?
Exactly, because everything I do will elevate you and everything you do will elevate me. So, it doesn't even make sense. I believe that stems from like having this weird mentality of, if I big you up, it makes me look smaller. But it's actually the opposite.
Exactly.
We've spoken about so many times. Like, if you give something to somebody, it comes from a place of abundance. I can big you up because I don't need to take from you. I can big you up because I have that in me. And that also makes me look better. Right? It makes me greater.
Definitely.
So it's kind of ironic, right? That the people who want to be greater are like hindering themselves by doing so. By not, bigging up somebody else or helping somebody else, or like they can't do that.
They can't say that.
No.
And what I don't understand is what I want for myself, I want for my brother. This is the thing I don't understand. Like
Yeah.
why would I want something for myself that I wouldn't wish for my brother?
Oh.
I get it, but I think a lot of people are afraid to be left behind, brother. And what do you say to people like that, though? Like for example, they're afraid that if I big you up now
Yeah.
or help you, you're not going to remember it. I believe that I don't care if you remember it. I did it because it's who I am.
Yes.
So if I choose to help you,
Because you wanted to.
yes,
That's
that's
it.
because I want to help you. I don't
Yes.
need the recognition or anything.
Yeah.
Like I know who I am.
Yeah.
And I believe you're the same kind of person.
Yeah, 100%. And if you believe in your own actions and your intentions more than the agenda of what you're gonna get from it, then it will always be pure. And purity will always come back to
Energy
you. in a good
doesn't
way.
lie, right?
Energy doesn't lie, and it will come back to you. And I also see it this way. Okay, how much has your way of doing things worked? Clearly not so well, has it, right? So maybe what if you switch things around and you start, bigging up people around you and acknowledging them for their strength instead of seeing that as something that makes you look weak, and see what happens.
I think the definition of madness, brother, is doing the same thing and expecting a different result.
results, yes. What is your view on today's relationships?
Today's relationships, it's all about microwave relationships, right?
Yeah.
How fast can you heat it up?
Yeah.
And how
Microwave, that's funny.
yes, and how fast can you eat it,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen? So yeah, how fast can you? I apologize.
He's not apologizing. He's just.
He's the humble one, and I'm he's the guy with the tattoo is actually the humble one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I exposed myself.
Yeah, but that is very true, my brother. It's all about that. Do you think part of that is social media, or do you think it's just
I think it has a lot to do with convenience, but I also believe that the values aren't there anymore, brother.
Yeah.
Nobody wants to. If I can say anything about your girl, right?
Yeah.
Is that she's been there from the start.
Yeah.
When it was tough, when it was rainy, when it was a thunderstorm, when it was windy.
Yeah.
Like I said, the values are there,
Yes.
right? And I just believe that people don't have those values anymore, and they're being attacked as well.
Yeah.
There's nothing cool anymore to be loyal.
No, exactly.
It's cool when you're in a suite in Dubai and everyone's texting you about, oh, it looks great or whatever. But it's not cool when, for example, you're working 16 hours a day to just make ends meet.
Yeah.
So,
exactly.
And I believe like there's an issue both with men and women about there's no incentive to be loyal because the grass is always. I was about to say that I said the ass is always greener on the other side, but the grass is always greener on the other side. A lot of people think that, right?
Yeah.
And that's why people also they keep running back to old relationships as well.
Yes, exactly. And they repeat old habits, of thinking things are gonna get better if they go to this person and then they end up shooting themselves in the foot basically. And what's worse about that is like every time you do that though, you also lower yourself in a way because you disrespect yourself, by treating your relationships like shit, right?
But you're good at this, right? You're one of the most brilliant men I know. But how do you keep continuing to respect yourself, right? How, for example, do you stand on your beliefs so firmly when, for example, it's someone that you care about that are violating them? How do you stay strong in a relationship is what I'm asking, right?
For me, it's levels to things, right?
Okay.
Of course, there's no black and white here,
No.
right? Where it's like, oh, this and then no. And here's the thing also, the more you know somebody or the closer you are, the more complex it gets, right? But there's also certain things that I'm very firm about. Like for instance, I have certain values that it doesn't matter who you are, you will never break those. And if you do, then
You're cut off.
It's finished.
There's no sorry?
No. It doesn't matter how long we've been together, how long we've, how much we've done.
Okay.
It
But
doesn't
I think
matter.
that's a very...
So I believe, brother, like, sorry to interrupt, but I believe also to have those values, from the beginning with yourself, knowing that if...
But is that how
they
you
break
respect
that.
yourself? That's sticking to those values,
Yes, I believe that's self-respect.
even though it hurts.
Yes.
And it's like, because I think a lot of people have issues cutting people off,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, because they go back to like, oh, we've done all these things together. Oh, we know this because of blah blah. Right? They go back to like, why they got together in the first place. Like, yeah, sure, it's great that they were loyal to you 5 years ago, but if they're treating you like shit now, why?
Yeah, we have this
You can't live on old memories.
No.
Can't live on old habits.
You and me have this conversation all the time, brother.
Yeah, yeah.
Is that we talked about it. We don't judge each other on how we treated each other 7 years ago when we met. We judge each other each time we talk.
Yes.
Okay.
And what we do today to sustain what we have today. It's always about that, right?
And we make sure that that energy is never violated. It's always positive. It's always good.
And if it's violated, it has to be corrected.
Yes. It doesn't mean we only talk about how great our lives are. No.
But if, like, let's say, for instance, you're in a relationship, right, and you feel like there's been a violation of some kind of respect, then it has to be corrected. Meaning, like, you bring it up, you talk about it, and then there has to be a change regarding that. It can't be like, oh, I don't like you doing this, and it's like violating the relationship, and then the person continues to do it, and you just keep accepting it.
Yes.
Then you're just shitting on yourself basically. Where's the respect there? Everybody talks about, oh, you should respect me. You should. No, you should respect you. They talk about how everybody else should respect them. You don't fucking respect yourself. How is anybody else gonna do that?
Yes.
It's about you respecting yourself first and foremost, to say, you know what, this is what it's gonna be, and if something is violated, we talk about it, we correct it, we make a change, or it's done with. It's done. It has to be that way. Otherwise, you can't be talking about respect, because you don't, you can't claim it from somebody else if you don't have it for yourself.
No, and you can't give respect to anyone else if you don't respect yourself either.
No,
I
exactly.
I firmly believe that.
Yeah, it all goes hand in hand, right? It's the same thing with like love, right? When it comes to like loving relationships, many people focus on, oh, how do I love this person? Oh, I love this person so much. Well, it also comes to a point where how much do you love yourself? Because the more you love yourself and focus on your own self-love.
But what do you do if you don't love yourself, though? Let me ask you that. Your music is a lot about pain.
Yeah.
So what do you do if you don't love yourself? What would you say to the people that ask you that?
But I would honestly say to sit down and really, really think about what you deserve in life and who you are as a person, right? Because a lot of us really don't reflect on ourselves, really. We reflect on ourselves based off on
what
others.
Other people think of us.
Yes. Or what we've heard, or our boss, my boss said this, my friend said this, my mother tells me on this. What do you think? Self-reflection, meaning that it's not colored by anybody. When you sit down in darkness, who do you see? When you look in the mirror, who do you see? When you think for yourself, what is the thoughts coming back to you? Who are you to yourself, right? What do you feel about yourself? Are you a loyal person? Are you an honest person? And when you answer these questions to yourself, you can also start framing a vision of, okay, this is what I deserve based off who I am according to me.
Beautifully said, brother. But pride is the most deadliest sin of them all, brother, for a reason. So it's very hard to self-reflect and take accountability. And I think, especially in relationships, that's the hardest part.
Yeah.
Because nobody wants to take responsibility for being wrong. Everyone wants to take responsibility for being right.
Yeah. Yes, and it's also a very shallow thing where it's like, oh, let me buy you some flowers to say I'm sorry, or, you know what I mean? What about if you just change internally for yourself, and like for me, for instance, right? When it comes to these things about like, because we all struggle with things that we're not perfect, right? We all struggle with, being like, man, what the fuck did I do that for? Why did I say that for? And then you feel bad, because sometimes it's not even about you really wanting to do that, right?
You're just reacting.
The intention wasn't real. Maybe it was because of other situations.
You're just reacting to what happened in the environment.
You're just reaction to the energies around you. Maybe you're very stressed. Maybe you're low on sleep. Maybe you been through a lot of trauma. Maybe there's things that are popping up for you, and you react instinctively, right? It's all survival in the end. We're all trying to survive, and and so what I do, for instance, a lot that I don't tell anybody about, that I don't tell you about, I don't tell my girlfriend about, is I'm hard on myself in silence. I'm like, why the fuck did I do that for? And then I sit with that, and I sit with that blame. I blame myself. you know? And I don't run away from that. I blame myself and then I say, you know what? I'm gonna work on this and I'm gonna make myself better with this because
And I
I
know
don't
you.
like this.
And I know
I don't
you.
like this about myself and I'm gonna change this. And I'm gonna do it in silence until it's as loud as, the scream.
And I know
You know?
you though. You're harder than on yourself than anybody I know.
Yes.
So yeah,
Even if I don't talk about it.
no. But again though, I see a pattern here with people that the people that are usually the hardest on themselves are the ones with the strongest values. So they're
Yeah.
not gonna put, you know, judge other people's values if they don't
Right.
judge their own.
Yes. And I'm hard on others because I'm so hard on myself.
Yes.
That is the only reason.
Mm.
Not because I want to be mean, not because I want to, bash on anybody else or point fingers at anybody else. Because usually the ones that's pointing fingers have the dirtiest hands.
Yes.
It's always the case.
All the
So
time.
for me, it's always about like, I push myself so hard and I'm so hard on myself to become better that I want you to become better. And that's why I want the best for you.
Yeah.
It's all out of love in the end, So anytime I'm hard on like anybody around me, it's because I genuinely care about them and because I am that way to myself.
But speaking for both of us, I know we're both very firm on cutting people off
Yeah.
that don't serve us, right?
Yeah.
And it's not about necessarily serving us, it's about serving our purpose, right?
Yeah.
So, and we take responsibility for who we have around us.
Yeah.
All right, brother, what message do you want your music to have, though?
This is something I've come back to many times. Is that my purpose with my music and my message is to speak for those who don't have a voice. Is to be the extension of what they're going through.
But what's the energy you want to leave with people that listens to your music, for example?
More self-awareness and more growth, within themselves by understanding that tapping into the things that made them weak is going to make them strong.
I love that.
Yeah.
Very powerfully said.
And because that's where I come from, pain and embracing that and turning that into my strength and building with it, building my life based off it. I'm literally sitting here now wearing the jewelry that I have, drinking this Pepsi, sitting in this suite and just living off of the pain that once destroyed me is what I've built my life with. And I believe that that is the message of my music and that's what people will feel when they listen to my music, that even though I feel broken, even though I feel hopeless, even though I feel all of these things, I've gone through all of these things, I'm still gonna make it and I'm still gonna become a better me.